ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
What are the qualifications for an Acharya? That was raised by a few persons in the group. So we will address this important question. In our Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, Acharya or Guru is a very revered and respected position. In fact, Acharya or Guru is respected as much as Bhagavan or even more than Bhagavan. That is how our Purvacharyas have shown about the Acharya Tattvam, the Guru Tattvam. Now let us see first the meaning for the words Guru, Acharya. Guru means one who removes ignorance. Acharya means one who learns Shastra from learned persons, elders, acts according to what he learnt, and then subsequently he guides others to become established in that good conduct, in that knowledge and conduct. So first Acharya has to educate himself by being a very good disciple under a previous Acharya, and then he has to put everything he learned into practice, and finally he teaches these principles to others and make them follow the same principles as well. The definition for Acharya can be seen in many pramanams from Purvacharya works. Specifically, one particular Pasuram in Saptakadai, the first Pasuram in Saptakadai, beautifully explains who an Acharya is. Ambon arangarkum avikum andaranga சம்பந்தம் காட்டி தடை காட்டி உம்பர் சிவம் என்னும் வாழ்வுக்கு சேர்ந்த நெறி காட்டும் அவனன்றோ ஆச்சாரியன். This is how an Acharya is described by Bidanjole Pillai, who is a very dear Shishya of Pillai Lokacharya. In his Saptakadai, which is an essence of Sri Vachanabhushana Divya Shastram, Bidanjole Pillai explains who an Acharya is. He says, the one who educates us in Artha Panchakam, that person is the Acharya. Artha Panchakam is very important for any Mumukshu, any Sri Vaishnava to understand. In fact, Rahasya Trayam, that is Tirumantram, Charmashlokam and Dvaya Mahamantram, these three explain in great detail about this Artha Panchakam. And this Artha Panchakam is very essential for a Mumukshu, that is one who desires moksha, for a Sri Vaishnava, to be clearly situated in his Swarupam, in this world. So in this Pasuram he says, the one who shows us Artha Panchakam, one who teaches us clearly the Artha Panchakam, that person is Acharya. Artha Panchakam is explained as Parabrahma Swarupam, which is the Paramatma Swarupam, and then there is Jivatma Swarupam, and then there is Upaya Swarupam, that is the way to reach Bhagavan for the Jivatma, and then Virodhi Swarupam, that which stops the Jivatma from attaining the Paramatma, and finally Upeya Swarupam, the nature of the goal, that is to render Nitya Kainkaryam to Bhagavan in Paramapadam. So all of these put together are known as Artha Panchakam. The one who clearly explains and establishes this for an individual, for a Shishya, that person is known as Acharya. This is the general explanation. We also see the concept of Panchasamskara in our Sampradayam. The Acharya who does Panchasamskara, usually that is only one person. We only undergo Panchasamskaram once. So that particular Acharya, Panchasamskara Acharya, is the main Acharya, the one who formally establishes the connection between the Jivatma and Paramatma. And then there are Jnanacharyas, those who impart knowledge, those who educate us, those who guide us, handhold us, and take us through the process of reaching Bhagavan. Jnanacharyas can be many for any individual. One person will generally have only one Panchasamskara Acharya, but Jnanacharya there will be many of them possibly. Good example to understand this principle is Bhagavad Ramanuja. He had Mahapurna, Periyanambi, as his Acharya who performed Panchasamskara. And subsequently he also learnt under other Acharyas, Goshti Purna, Tirukoshti Nambi, and then there is Tirumalai Andan, Maladhara Swami, and then there is Periya Tirumalai Nambi, Sri Shaila Purna, and then there is Tiruvaranga Perumal, Arayar, and also he previously learnt Sampradaya principles from Tirukachi Nambi. So many of these glorious Sri Vaishnavas were considered as Jnanacharyas by Bhagavad Ramanuja. He had equal respect for both his Panchasamskara Acharya and for Jnanacharyas. He was totally surrendered to all of them, taking guidance from all of them. So this is how the Acharya Tattvam is generally explained.
Panchasamskara Acharya and Jnanacharya, one concept should be clearly understood. Panchasamskara Acharya is the one who comes in the lineage of 74 Simhasanadipatis, the Acharyas who were established by Bhagavad Ramanuja himself. These may be sannyasis or grihasthas, but they have to be coming in the lineage of the 74 Acharya Pitams, Acharya Paramparais established by Bhagavad Ramanuja. Similarly, for Jnanacharyas, they have to have trained under Acharyas who are coming in our Sat Sampradayam. The purity of our Sampradayam, our Guru Paramparai is very important while we undergo study under any Acharya. So that Acharya who gives us Jnanam, he should be coming in the Jnana Parampara of our Purvacharyas. That is very important for us to understand.
Mainly, we see that in Upadesha Ratinamalai, Manaval Mamnigal explains, Jnanamanuttanam ivai nandragave udayanana guruvai adainda kaal. Manilathir Tenar Kamala Tirumamagal Puludan, Tane Vaikundan Tarum. If we take shelter, if we surrender to an Acharya who is complete in Jnanam and Anushtanam, both should exist for the Acharya. If one gets such Acharya, then Sriman Narayana, Bhagavan, he will grant Vaikuntam, Sri Vaikuntam for that particular Shishya without any question. He will just grant it because it is understood that under the guidance of such Acharya, the Shishya will definitely reform into a very noble person. So that is how the Acharya should be. That is the ideal way of an Acharya. The emphasis is on Jnanam and Anushtanam. The person who has good Jnanam and good Anushtanam is the one who is qualified to be an Acharya. Now, we also have to see how an Acharya should think about himself. This is very important because as Sishyas, we think about those who are our Jnanacharyas, those who are our Panchasamskara Acharya. We treat them with great reverence, and ideally the Shishya should think that his Acharya is everything for him. His guidance is the most valuable thing for him. That is how he should be. Every time he becomes bewildered, he becomes confused, he should depend on the instructions of the Acharya, and he should totally take up those instructions and follow those instructions as best as possible. That is how the Shishya should be. On the other hand, the Acharya himself should think about a few aspects in certain ways. That is highlighted in Sri Vachanabhushanam, which is a very, very important grantham for Sri Vaishnavas. Pillai Lokacharya has given the essence of our Sampradayam. In that, he explains how an Acharya should conduct himself, how he should think about himself. In that, in Sutram 308 and 309, he touches upon very important aspects. In 308, Pillai Lokacharya says, Tan hitopadesham pannumbodu, tannayum shishyanayum palatayum maradi nanaikai krura nishiddham. That is, when a person gives good instructions, noble instructions for a shishya, when an Acharya gives instructions for a shishya, he should think about himself, he should think about the disciple Shishya, and he should think about the result of his instructions in certain way. If he thinks about these aspects in the wrong way, that is totally forbidden. That should not be done. That is 308 Sutram, and that is explained in the subsequent Sutram, in the 309th Sutram. Tannai maradi ninaikayavadu, தன்னை ஆச்சாரியன் என்று நினைக்கை, சிஷ்யனை மாறாடி நினைக்கையாவது தனக்கு சிஷ்யன் என்று நினைக்கை, பலத்தை மாறாடி நினைக்கையாவது துஷ்ட பிரயோஜனத்தையும் சிஷ்யனுடைய உஜ்ஜீவனத்தையும் பகவத் கைங்கரியத்தையும் சகவாசத்தையும் பலமாக நினைக்கை. So in this sutram, Pillai Lokacharya brings out the highest principle of how an Acharya should be. To think about self, that is for Acharya, to think about self wrongly means to think that he is the Acharya. So if somebody comes and tells me, you are my Acharya, even if that person is an Acharya, you should say that I am not your Acharya. Clearly you should refuse that. Why? Because he should think that the person who is getting instruction from him is really getting instruction from the Acharya's Acharya. That is, the Acharya who is now being asked, are you my Acharya? That Acharya should think that, no, this is not my Shishya and I am not his Acharya. He should think that he is my Acharya's Shishya. So I am just another student. It is only that maybe I have come to the classes earlier and I have learnt a little bit extra. I am sharing it with this newcomer. That is how one should think. So one should first think that one is not the Acharya. One's Acharya is the real Acharya. Similarly, one should think one's Shishya, even though one may be learning from a particular Acharya, that Shishya should be thought about as his Acharya's Shishya. So if somebody is learning from a person, he should think that that person, that Shishya, is that person's Acharya's Shishya. Just like we are classmates. That is how he should think. And then finally, thinking about the phalam, the result. That also it is explained that 4 things should not be thought about as the result. That is Drishta Prayojanam. Let's say if one person teaches another person, an Acharya teaches to Shishya, the Acharya should not think about tangible benefits he will get out of it. Oh, this person is a very influential person, this person is a very rich person, he will present me some good gifts, money, or some opportunities and so on. So that Drishta Prayojanam, visible results, tangible results, that should not be seen as the result, as the purpose. And then Shishya's upliftment, that is also not the goal of the Acharya. It is not that the Acharya is going to uplift the Shishya. That is not how Acharya should think about it. And then Bhagavad Kainkaryam, that is also not the result expected. Here the Acharya is not inducing the Shishya to engage in Kainkaryam to Bhagavan. Finally, Sahavasam. Actually, if we understand the principle clearly, then we will not have any confusion. Sahavasam, that is, I have a good company. That is the result here. So I can spend my time usefully. I have good company. That is also not the goal here for the Acharya. So, Drishta Prayojanam, that is tangible results, that is not the goal. Shishya's upliftment, that is not the goal. Again, these are all not the goals for the Acharya. Manavad Mamishal in the commentary explains that all of these will happen, but they are not the goal for the Acharya. Drishta Prayojanam is not the goal, that is tangible, visible results, that is not the goal. Shishya's upliftment, that is also not the goal. Engaging in Bhagavad Kainkaryam, that is not the goal. And then Sahavasam, that is being together with Shishya, that is also not the goal. Good companionship, that is also not the goal. So what is the goal? The goal is to create Mangala Shasana Para. We have to be Mangala Shasana Para. We have to perform Mangala Shasanam. And that is what the Acharya should aim for the Shishya. Because Mangala Shasanam is the real goal of any Sri Vaishnava. Pallandu, Pallandu, Pallayarattandu. That is wishing for Bhagavan's wellness, Bhagavan's well-being always. That is the main goal. Now all of these other things, how will they be accomplished? They will be accomplished by various ways. Drishta Prayojanam, that is wealth and assistance for the Acharya. The Shishya has to take care of Acharya's bodily needs, whatever, running the family, running the matam, all of those should be taken care by the Shishya. Now that will happen by the Shishya's desire. This should not be the Acharya's goal, but it should be the goal of Shishya. The Shishya will think, okay, I have to take care of my Acharya. So he will take care of the Acharya's physical needs, visible needs. So that will be fulfilled. The liberation that will be accomplished by Bhagavan. The Bhagavan will see that this Shishya is connected to this particular Acharya. Now it is my duty to uplift this, liberate this Jivatma, this Shishya. So that will be fulfilled by Bhagavan's desire. And then Kainkaryam, that is, here Bhagavad Kainkaryam is Acharya thinking that I am reforming this Shishya as a Kainkaryam. Now that will happen by the will of his Acharya. That is, Acharya is there. No? He will look at this and he will say, oh, my Shishya is beautifully engaging in reforming another person. So let him be reformed. Let this be a Kainkaryam for my Shishya. So that Acharya's thought will make that happen also. And finally, the companionship, again, that will happen automatically, because when the Acharya and Shishya are together, when the Acharya is instructing the Shishya, naturally that companionship will develop. So that is also not the goal of the Acharya. The Acharya's goal should only be Mangala Shasanam. So all of these are explained in the Sri Vachanabhushana Divya Shastram, where Acharya should not think about himself as the Acharya, rather he should think about his Acharya as the real Acharya, and he is just an instrument in the hands of his Acharya. Similarly, he should think about his Shishya as a direct Shishya of his Acharya. Here the Acharya in between is only an intermediary. That is how he should think about himself. And again we saw the results, how the goal for the Acharya should only be to make the Shishya as a Mangala Shasanapara. So all of these are explained as important aspects to be present in Acharya. The Acharya should take care of his conduct very, very carefully and engage in this manner. The Shishya should also be very diligent in discussing or engaging with his Acharya, so that he is engaging only for the purpose which he is meant to engage with the Acharya and not for anything else. His only goal is to learn from Acharya and serve Acharya. That is the main goal of the Shishya, and he should look at that aspect only. So this is briefly about Acharya Tattvam, Guru Tattvam as explained by our Purvacharyas. It was a very important question, and we should ensure that this is how Acharyas are. Basically, each Acharya should think about this in this way only, not in any other different way.
ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download KOYIL, KOYIL app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, KOYIL.org.